Samuel Colt changed the way we look at guns forever, and this is his story.
Samuel Colt was born on July 19, 1814, in Hartford, Connecticut, and without a doubt revolutionized the American West in the way we look at guns forever.
As a boy, Samuel Colt's first job was working for a textile mill.
However, working here didn't interest him.
His parents were Sarah and Christopher Colt. Christopher tried to get Samuel involved in the dye business, but he was uninterested. Sarah died when Samuel was only 7 in 1821.
Samuel Colt was educated at home until he enrolled in Amherst Academy in Amherst, Massachusetts. When Colt was younger, he loved to disassemble and assemble his father's guns. This showed that Samuel Colt was an inventor at heart. He was destined to be an inventor. When Colt was 16, he went to sea as a sailor on the ship Corlo, which was traveling from Boston to Calcutta. While on his journey, he came up with a plan for a gun with a revolving flintlock.
The thought of having a revolving cylinder inside a handgun escaped from inventors' minds for centuries, but Colt simply got the idea for a revolver from watching a ship's wheel. This was the beginning of Colt's future in the gun business. Colt then began to write and draw plans for different guns.
He then began writing patents and actually creating different revolvers. When he was 21, he first patented the single-action Colt revolver.
When he was 22, Colt started the company Colt Patent Firearms in 1836 in New Jersey. After receiving an approved patent for their first revolver, Colt Patent Firearms failed in 1842 due to expensive and unreliable guns. Colt did learn a lot about manufacturing.
Due to the failure of the company, Samuel Colt learned from his mistakes, and when many guns were ordered for the military for the Mexican-American War, Colt's Patent Firearms opened again in 1846 because he fixed all of the problems for the Colt revolvers.
This time the company was much more successful. It was selling more guns than ever, and the guns became very useful in battle.
Samuel Colt traveled around showing his guns to important people.
These people could help him make his company grow bigger.
The Colt Company was one of the first introductions to manufacturing in the Industrial Revolution. It was one of the first companies to mass-produce something, instead of simply doing it by hand.
The idea of mass-producing these guns helped to start the Industrial Revolution.
However, the mass production of all these guns helped many wars become more bloody and caused a lot of death.
The production of Colt guns helped change America into the largest military power in the world by producing so many different firearms.
Probably the single most important thing Colt did to revolutionize pistols and guns was creating a patent for revolving double-action pistols. This gave soldiers the capability to fire faster and easier without reloading. It also gave people better protection so they didn't have to keep reloading their guns.
And the first double-action gun he created was a patent for the Colt Lightning model.
This gun changed the war. There was faster reloading, which caused soldiers to have an advantage in combat. The gun was actually created after Samuel Colt's death, and it was created in 1877.
Colt was rising to fame, and by 1860, almost everyone knew the name Samuel Colt. He then created the world-famous Colt 45, which changed the American West.
Many Western criminals, such as Jesse James, owned the Colt 45. The police were supplied with Colt revolvers as well.
Cowboys and pioneers also carried them. It became incredibly famous in the American West. Colt handguns are still in use in the military today.
Colt revolvers will always be connected to the American West.
The Colt revolvers were the gun of choice in battle because it could be so easily fired and quickly reloaded, and they were the most reliably built. Colt guns supplied the American military.
Samuel Colt became very famous and was well known by a huge amount of people.
On January 10, 1862, Samuel Colt died of natural causes at the age of 47 in Hartford, Connecticut. His wife took over the company. The company is still there today.
Many people mourned the death of Samuel Colt, but he left a very large mark on the history of guns and